Growing up, I actually was super into the Western entertainment industry. Everything that I consumed from comics, film, and all kinds of entertainment was Western. I actually never once dwelled into the Eastern entertainment side of things. I did not read Chinese comics. I did not read anything that was like Southeast Asian. So actually when Patrick, my mentor in poly, he threw me this idea and said, "Hey Marc, do you want to try working on this idea I have? It's called Serpertine. It's about something from the East." And I was like, It was super new to me. I did not know a single thing about Chinese heritage, Chinese culture, and at first I didn't give it a second thought. But as time passed, I actually grew to love the idea, and I saw it as a challenge also at the same time. I love games, and I really wanted to make a game, but I didn't know how to. I didn't understand the nature of the East, but I took it as a challenge, and yeah, I really wanted to make a game that was based in the East, and this kind of led me to creating Serpertine. Hi, my name is Marc. I'm from ADM, animation stream. So I'm the creative director of Serpertine, and yeah. So Serpertine is, it was actually initially an idea for a comic or something along of an IP, intellectual property. It was supposed to be about a tale of the White Snake reimagined in World War II, where she comes out from her legendary tale, being stuck under the Beryvn pagoda, and she emerges in a new daunting world of violence where humans are at their worst. The funny thing about her is that this character loves humans, so if you put a character which loves humans in a world where humans were at their worst, the idea was to make something unique and interesting, a fish out of water actually. But yeah, this is another reimagining of the White Snake. This project Serpertine actually dated all the way back to my poly days, back in 2017 when I was in my second year of poly. So I had a mentor of mine, his name is Patrick. Patrick actually came forth with this idea, and then he asked, "Hey, Marc, would you like to try doing this cool idea that I have in my head? Would you like to try and execute this?" So I said, okay. So actually, I did spend maybe about 1 year trying to create sketches, drawings for Patrick, and then we were trying to see how cool this cool idea materialized. And it took a break when I went to army, but I was always thinking about this idea, one idea that really intrigued me. And when I was in university, this idea just became more apparent in my works, and I just decided to, hey, how about I just create finally materialize Serpertine in 3D space or a game. Yeah. And so we are here now, trying to create this short little snippet of what a larger universe could be. So Serpertine is still in its initial phases. No, I wouldn't say it's a large-scale game. We kind of wanted to make a short little snippet of what the Serpertine can be, what the white snake is like in maybe the first few minutes of her re-emerging in this new world. Yeah. So there are people that are working on this. So I'll just name a few. Jireh is one of them. Siqi, Jian, Beryvn, Sandra, Arthur, and yeah, they are very talented individuals working on this project of mine. And the team is now currently 8 people strong. Yeah, we are a small little team comprising of animation, tech, programming, and sound design as well.
Another day, another problem. Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, so my name is Jireh. I'm the only programmer in Serpertine team. How I managed to get into Serpertine is, so Marc, the art director, like the co-director, he's my secondary school mate, right? But we've never talked before in secondary school. But I've always known that his art is very good. Like his 2D art was really good in secondary school and in poly. So in uni he took up arts, and then he started doing more 3D art, right? While I continued to do programming, and in fact I learned the first kind of programming I was learning was game programming. So I was kind of following his path very closely, and because of that, it kind of led to his last year and after I graduated, where he was looking for people to find a game, and he needed a programmer. So as a programmer in this game, I deal with all the logic in the game, right? So everything artistic that needs to be put in the game and connected together with some kind of logic I do. I have been learning Unreal. So Unreal Engine is our game engine. I have been learning Unreal for 2 months. So I'm completely fresh to this. But I'm surprised at how far we've gone with the lack of experience I have. Yeah, she's quite amazing, I think.
Maybe we should drop text. What has been the most challenging thing so far for you to do?
Most challenging thing, I'll say the combo system. So okay, how at least how it works is that how it used to work is that she had a combo system between armed mode, meaning with a sword, and a magic mode. So magic mode would be like just unarmed attacks like that, right? So the thing is that I had to branch from single attack mode into armed or unarmed mode based on a different button press. So it was very complicated, and it was like very hard to do. So actually what we did was we just scrapped the idea.
In my first few years here in NTU ADM, I did try to make Serpertine in a few formats. It even came in a form of stop motion, it came in forms of comics. I was always trying to push this idea forth, and it was really difficult at first because I was only alone on my lonesome, trying different mediums, trying to find the right execution style for Serpertine. I did not have the know-how of 3D space. I did not understand anything in the 3D pipeline. So like sculpting, 3D modeling, texturing, stuff like that. I had no clue. So as an individual, I had my own struggle trying to find my footing in the 3D space and in the game space especially. And that was just my own issue. I also knew that I had my own limitations and no man is an island here. You cannot do something as ambitious as Serpertine alone. So finding the right teammates was also another problem, which I spent many nights worrying and wondering how was I going to execute this project. And I'm really thankful that I did find a few key people in this project. First one actually being Jireh. So Jireh has been fantastic. He's been the lead programmer and he was super excited about this idea as well. And then another issue was finding a rigger. So a rigger is someone that does all the technical aspects of 3D space, I would say, in terms of animation. Siqi has been the most wonderful FYP groupmate, and finding someone like her with the right attitude was really difficult also, yeah. But I just overcame that challenge because, you know, I was really lucky. And slowly, month after month, I just started to recruit, or rather, people were really interested in this project as well, and they saw this vision that could come true.
Hello, I'm Lan Shiqi. I'm an undergraduate year 4 EDM student, and I specialized in animation. When I first time saw this project is during the digital sculpting class. Marc is showing us what he wants to do for his final year project. I was really interested in it because I heard the story before. Beryvn, I was heard during my when I was really young, like maybe 7 years or 8 years old. Then I know the story. I know Beryvn. I know all the Beryvn Tower element. Also I saw a lot of like familiar elements like the Tianting and the Difu, and all this I feel really I feel a sense of familiarity. And then I feel that if I join this team, I could bring more Chinese inspiration and Chinese culture inside the project. That's why I choose to join this team. And I also help Marc to find some reference if he needs some inspirations. And then I also help Marc to help to outsourcing for Chinese voice actor. I found my aunt to voice out the background voice, and find my other friends to voice out the Beryvn and also all the main character, because this is a Chinese-based story. That's why I outsourcing all the Chinese voice actors. So as a rigger, firstly I need to build a skeleton for this character. Then
So who is this character?
this character is Beryvn. Now he don't have a hair because in our process, right, we are doing hair and the hair and the model separately. So hair is made in Blender software. That's why so for this one is also we do facial separately from the rig. It's like this is one of my I think I need to say how do I solve problem, all this stuff, right?
Later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. So this is our process. I need to find out the most convenient way and the fast way to do stuff. Initially I was planning to build every rig on the face and then build a fully like the facial rig and the body rig combined together. But after I have done all the facial rigs on face already, I found it's very time consuming, because if we do the facial rig together with the body rig, then we need to animate the facial rig separately, like one by one. It's really need manpower, but we don't have so many animators. That's why we use a different way, which is called creating blank shapes. You can
What
see
challenges you face?
the challenges I face mainly is not all the skill, like all the rigging part. It's not really the rigging part, and all the building the controller, building the skeleton. It's not really that part. The most challenging I face is the problem solving. Every time may face a lot of different problems. For example, when I do just now you see the facial animation in Maya, but after export all the FBX, I import inside the Unreal, the facial animation gone. Don't have a facial animation. That's the issue I always face. It's very important for me to figure out how to build a bridge between different softwares. For example, like by now I'm using 4 softwares for my site. One is Motion Builder, mine is Maya, one is Blender, and then is the Unreal. So we will do all the production in all these 3, the Motion Builder, Maya, and Blender, and then combine all the elements we built here and then import in Unreal, and then combine everything in Unreal. But sometimes, right, it's like everything looks correctly in Blender and Maya, but when we import inside Unreal, then something gone or something disappear or something not work. Yeah, that's basically a lot of problem I face. Although I face a lot of problems, I face a lot of issues, but I feel the working process is really, I enjoy it because I was doing something I like, I was doing something I'm interested.
So at the end of my year 3, semester 2, I really was in almost like I already started out trailer production on my own with some assets here and there. I was really confident after 1 year or 2 years trying to do the 3D stuff, and I'm not the best, but I already put my heart and soul into trying to make this thing work. And at a point in time, I was like, okay, COVID just hit us, and right now I needed members in my team. How are we gonna like communicate one by one, like all the animation stuff, how are we gonna art direct things, how are we gonna rig stuff? So I actually had a meeting with everyone that is mentioned in the video. We had it one day, I think during like a Friday, and all of us just sat down together, and everyone was so patient and just listened to this new idea that I had to bring into their lives. And you know, like I didn't know at that point in time what was going through everyone's mind. They were like, we have this COVID limitation, like how were things even going to work? But we actually set up weekly Saturday calls, and we always met on an online platform, and we always had about maybe one and a half hours of meeting time every Saturday night, diligently during this COVID period. And honestly, I look back and it was one of the best times of my uni life. Not because, you know, it was like really a joyous process. I would say that it was a joyous process during that time, and everyone was so dedicated. You could feel the energy that everyone wanted to bring this to life. And COVID was a problem, but the funny thing is that when you enter more into the digital space, you kind of like could combat the limitations that COVID provided, where you could not meet up physically. Things just started getting replaced, like meetings just went online, pipelines were just sending a file over to Google Drive, and then people would just take and extract and use and stuff like that. Yeah, so we overcame that challenge.
Okay, I'm Beryvn. I'm one of the animators on Serpertine, and this is Jian.
Hello, hello.
We are both in year 3 of NTU right now. We knew each other since Poly, Nanyang Poly doing animation, and we like to do 3D.
Yeah, we kind of got to know this project through Marc, cause we took the same class as him in like year 2, sem 2. Yeah, so that's how we got connected to this project.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was I took a class with Marc for advanced 3D production.
Yeah, advanced 3D production.
Oh, I met Marc during the holidays in year 1, sem 2. Because it was the holidays, then we were both working here, so we just happened to talk. He was doing Unreal stuff. I haven't seen Unreal before, I thought it was quite cool. And then from then on, we started to talk more. He told me about Serpertine, and I was quite interested in it. Then after that, when he finally hit year 3 sem 2, he was actually starting to recruit people. I saw he was actively looking on LinkedIn as well. Then that's when I realized it couldn't just be me, one animator, helping him. And then that's when I asked Jian, and Jian was okay with it. Yeah. It starts with Marc first coming out of a character or creature, and then he also let us know whether it's a good one or bad one, I think. But once we know whether it's good or bad, then he tells us what the exact animations we need to make. So like whether it be movement, dodging, attacking, something magical, or like one of those charge up and then burst attacks. Then from then, after he lists this out, he will give us a few days, me and Ying Jian, to actually conceptualize what are some of the ways the creature or character can move or do the attack.
Yeah.
And sometimes it helps when we're not sure to find references on YouTube and send to Marc, see if that's something he's looking for.
At the start of the project, we started, both me and Beryvn actually started with the Baicer's attacks first. So I was more in charge of the sword attacks. Then so from at the start, the sort of the inspiration that Marc had was Raya in The Last Dragon. She had like a whip, a sword that kind of can extend into a whip. So from there, I took that, and then because Baicer was more like a Chinese mythology character, so I went to search on those wuxia sword fights on YouTube. So I just looked around, then so I saw that like it was very like very graceful, like the moves were very graceful and stuff. So from there I just search through different videos, then kind of sketch through. From there I sketch like different movesets. So the one of the more like heavily inspired scenes was this scene from Raya where her sword becomes a whip and pulls out a weapon. So I took inspiration from here, and afterwards did like some rough concept sketches just very rough, just so that everybody in the team gets an idea, like, okay, this is what roughly it can look like. Then from there it becomes boom,
How did
3D thing, magic. This was probably one of my favorite because of how dynamic the move is. And of course with the effects and everything in Unreal, it will look even better. Now it's just a grey. And the sound effects from Sandra and the team, yes, of course. The ping ping pew pew.
Things you do to keep yourself entertained.
Yeah, man. Things I do at 3 a.m. in the morning to make me motivated to continue doing this. I think this was probably one of my favorites still till today, even after like almost the whole project is done already. This is probably still one of my favorites.
It all starts when Marc gives us one sketch. So these are some of the ideas he had for the final boss. Like you can see over there, number 1, this is like a down slash, up slash. This is the sideways slashes. Then you got jump attacks. You got like the rage mode when the boss goes faster, doing the same things but rager. And then AOE attack, which is area of effect. Area of effect, where he does this big boom explosion magic attack that affects all around the map, and then the player has to like roll away, kind of like Dark Souls a lot. So like what Marc envisioned, I write it down, then make sure that's what he wants. Then from there we go straight into Maya, because he already trusts us, we don't have to draw anymore. That's great. So in the beginning we have a rig that does nothing. So Like say if I were to, he gave me that sketch just now, and then I were to start right now, all I have is this, like just a model rigged, but then like no animations at all. Like when you play, he's just stationary. Initially, after I rigged this boss, since Jian will also be using it, but he didn't rig it, I needed to explain to him like my thought process of how the rig works lah. So to make his life easier, without having to like experiment all that, like I let him know I might have overkilled it, but I thought more controls are better. So you have the hand, the normal hand rotations, like this gimbal over here you can move to rotate, but not only that, you can change it. Luckily we were taught you can change it to another mode of control where you just move the hand and then the elbow will follow. Same for the elbow. So we got a lot of little controls that really help. I've never really done games, so everything I did is all very cinematic. You have like 3-arc structure or whatever. You have a character starting an action, talking, interacting. It's easy to just apply the 12 principles. But then when it comes to games, it's a bit different. Like when me and Jian first started with the basic martial arts attacks with the hand-to-hand combat, we wanted to make it look nice, like flow very nice, the poses strong, you know, hold the key or maybe like anticipate a but then it looked nice, but then it felt very slow once thankfully Jireh managed to get the engine up early so he could put the animations in, and once Jireh put the animations in, he realized that like we were working like cinematic animators where everything doesn't work as a game because it's too smooth, too slow, but you know, it works more for a cinematic art. And from then on, me and Jian probably had to reiterate our animation, figuring out how a game animation would work.
So how does it feel now that it is all really coming to an end? Like seeing it for what it was at the start, with just pure sketches and like a Zoom meeting, and like now knowing that we're just months away to the completion of this.
How does it feel? It's really, I'm not disappointed. I'm waiting to see what will come out of this. In the beginning, I was a bit worried because Marc was very ambitious. Wow, a lot of enemies. And ADM also, I'm really interested to see like finally someone put out a game in ADM, because there has been some good games in ADM, but most of them, while very good, they're more on the experimental side. Like you got point and clicks, and you got visual novels, all that. It's very niche market. We haven't really seen a game in ADM where it's more trendy, like God of War, where you have a third-person character action game based in like a big world with more than one type of enemy in a style that is very current, like very high fidelity. So I actually want to see what comes out of it. We haven't really been able to see so much yet because we have been focused on animation side, but so far from what we've seen, it seems to be progressing quite nicely.
I think even aside of like even thinking further than just taking Serpertine as an FYP project, I think Marc really put in a lot of effort to push, like use his connections and stuff to push this game or this sort of concept. It's not really a game yet, I guess. So push this game idea further than just a FYP project. So I think that's what's really exciting for like everyone involved, because if this game really does become a actual God of War level type of game where everybody talks about it, I think that would be really, really cool. Because like Beryvn mentioned, like we don't have a lot of sort of in the game realm, not a lot of things coming out of ADM. So for something to come out of ADM and then maybe eventually one day become a big title, I think that would be quite exciting. Yeah.
So let me just start. So this is our game. It's called Serpertine. Okay, next slide, please. We were featured on Singapore Games Association Industry Day. So all that effort, all those meetings actually culminated to a little milestone that we crossed, which was this event, Singapore Games Association Industry Day. yeah, we were
And,
really
I
happy that we
very,
were just a
very
bunch of
happy.
undergrads
Then we
trying to
had
do
some
something
of the
great during this time.
cutscenes
Yep.
fully filmed and the combat scenarios done. And then we work on polishing the gameplay and preparing for April 2022.
It was a
launch, right?
absolutely insane journey. What started out as a two-man idea with me and Patrick became a small team of 4, and then now it's all the way to 8 people with, you know, tech support, sound design. I just feel like this project was meant to be, I guess. Sometimes, you know, you can like get the correct people but they don't pull through. You can get the best designers but they just don't care about the project. I felt like it was really a dream come true. It helped me grow a lot as a person also and as a director.
You know, the idea of it started as a 2-man team and then it became like an 8-man team and then you started talking about a team, right? So I've gathered thought from all your members to ask a very important question, which you have to answer later. So you can take a look at the video first.
Okay.
You can press play whenever you're ready.
Serpertine really gave me a kind of a safe space to learn and sort of hone my skills. Then yeah, so I'm actually very grateful for that. Then with that, of course, like I can understand more how a project like this works. Then I understand my own abilities better also. Then with this project, it really actually gave me the drive to like push my work. Like before that, I was just kind of like going through motion with school stuff. But with this project, actually like it made me think of like I should or I can work like more than just schoolwork for like my own like future.
What Serpertine means to me. I'm actually I was worried about taking this on at first because, you know, usually when you agree to something it's just more commitments. Commitment scares everybody. But in the end it became more of an opportunity for me, not only to like practice my skills, get better, especially in game animations, which I haven't really had the chance to do much about. It also, you know, allowed me to see that his confidence actually inspired me to know that even though ADM has not ventured out into making games, if you want to do something you can. And not only say I could have done this for my FFP alone, but the fact that Marc had a team and I could join that team really made me feel like, you know, I'm not doing this alone, I'm doing this with a community. Everyone wants to really push this game to become something good, not because if the game does well, we all benefit from it. And Marc has not really said like, oh, this is my baby, this is only my thing, this is for my glory. He actually keeps saying he does share that sentiment of wanting each of us to get something out of this. It's not just, you know, he's going around picking us and then say, oh, I need you to help me, that kind of thing. He actually checks with us first, like whether we will get anything out of it, whether we really want to do it or not.
I would say that Serpertine to me is about the interpersonal relationships. One being between you, Marc, and myself. I enjoyed the process. Yeah, and also the people that I meet while being on this project. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting to see how everyone being so like-minded during all the Zoom calls and stuff like that to discuss about the project. I think it really motivates me and inspires me a lot to see how everyone is so dedicated to their craft, and I mean, just nice to see lah. Yeah, so I would say that Serpertine is really more than just like a, for lack of a better word, corporate kind of project. Yeah, I think the people are the main things that I really enjoyed while being in this team and being on this project.
Okay, I have some sentence for Marc, our great leader and our art director. Thank you so much for bringing me inside this project and let me know all these talented teammates. I learned a lot from you, and also learn a lot from our teammates. Every time I got issues, I will go to ask them, and then they will always give me a good answer and good solutions. I really appreciate that. And then I think Serpertine changed my life because after doing a game, I'm more clear about my future now. I want to do a game. I think this one really makes me more enthusiast to my it makes me have more enthusiasm to my life also, because I want to do something I like in the future. It's like I combine it's like every time it's like, because I like play games and then I do a game job in the future, then I think every day I must be very happy. Yeah, that's the most important thing I learned from this project also. Yeah, thank you so much. And then I really think that I have this opportunity to join this team and then to be more clear about my future also. Yeah.
I don't know, I think like the game itself is like the representation of my or our dreams. Like Marc and I's dreams of like, okay, we want to make it out there, right? So we're not just making a game, but we're like building onto an idea of what our life would be. Like we want to be designers, or we want to be developers for games next time, or we want to publish games, we want to make good stuff, right? And then it's kind of like our baby, our ideals packaged into this game. Like what do we want to make in the future? And this is like the first stepping stone. So it's kind of how, yeah, like it's like a package of what we start with. And I think, I mean, I don't see like the end of this project as the end. It's like literally just the start of what we have learned and then what we'll take forward. Not only with the skills that we learn, but also the people that we brought along, that we tagged along with us. So that idea is, yeah, this is just a start of something new. We don't know where it's going, but at least I think our ideals for the game and for future games or companies that we make, that we found, it starts here lah. It started here. I think I talked to Marc about this before. Like Serpertine is not a game. Serpertine is an ideal. It's an idea. It's a concept, right? For us, it's not just a game. It is. We want to take Serpertine as a testing ground, as a proving ground to say that we can make good games, we can make good products, good design, and wherever Serpertine takes us, I think it's a good start lah. Yeah, we can. There's definitely more to come, and I mean, I hope to be working with Marc like for a long time. Yeah.
You can put the laptop down. So the question I asked all of them, which you will be answering now, is what is Serpertine to you? Wait, how do you find the video first?
Yeah, it was good. Very touched by all their words. So what is Serpertine to me? To me, I think I put enough years in my life working on this intellectual property. I think Jireh has mentioned it's actually an idea. There are certain stories and certain morals that I crafted out with my team, crafted out with Jian. I do feel like Serpertine, in a nutshell, it's about trying to, because she's, after all, okay, in its story in itself, is actually, she's a demon, right? And the whole world is telling her that she cannot mix around with humans and she cannot do this, she cannot do that. And the funny thing is that she's a female protagonist, not many that you see in the games industry. And I do want to build something that, I wouldn't say preach, but maybe teach others that you can do whatever you want to do, despite your disabilities, despite the challenges that you face. You know, it is an idea to inspire others, because if you just make a game for the sake of making a game, you are just making a product. You're not making an idea. You're not inspiring others. So I do feel like Serpertine actually is something that I hope inspires others if this entire game goes through. the game is just a medium and it's just a transportation device of this idea to others out there in the world. But yeah, to me, I think Serpertine is an ideal, an ideology that, yes, inspires others. I hope they don't skip the cutscenes. You know, a lot of players like to just, you know, I just want to play the game, so they skip the cutscenes. We are not AAA developers. We are a small group of very ambitious students. I hope that when they play the demo, that they see that there is a bigger universe that could actually materialize from this small little snippet. That they see the story and they understand that, hey, actually, you know, it's a great idea, and a lot of things can come from it at the same time. But more importantly, I like others to know that the only thing that actually I want others to know is that as long as you put your heart and soul into something, you can actually do something this big. The only person that is actually on paper, who is my final year group mate, is actually Siqi. Everyone else was actually outsourced. It's just two people. Two FYP group mates, myself and Siqi, that I hope other people out there can see that if you really want something, you'll find all means and all kinds of ways to get something done. And I hope that inspires others with a bigger team, that they can do even more. It's about trying to really overcome something that you initially think that it's never going to work, but if you really believe in something, you can do it. Aside from the game, I hope people see that this game was not just an effort of one man, but the entire family. Yeah, every Saturday night. Yeah, it was really a great journey, man. Thank you all for this, all your effort, your grit, your spirit and your attitude towards this project. It's really warmed my heart, and you have changed me also as a person.